Oyerepa News.
100.7 FM Oyerepa. Yada mo ase mo fidi da hanmo. Ye memu nsemo ye nsaka ene nkofo memu de ne bi atrase de ebremo. Ensem no do so pa na ne ye de betirem ewo kumawu asantema ntema ya na mareba eba ne se pani bi atra adwen pa ewo ho na ye twi pani bi so kogira mu omrase badwafi a anu ye bai ene odi kotu dwa mo ntwen nyimre ye de enkyiremu ebeba.
Labo adwumayefo anansen won do omno magu wo so ono munya adwuma no. Wo mo strike ni nyina wo mo so mo dia ba wiye enne.
Amane boni su bi kire se bodwa dwadini bi si kumasi kropon badwako no abambofo ye kire ke me city gate ni bi abomode a kine wa nduka o masese na nim dia man fine ti okofie yi na nim ode ba ye nko na de ode konko
mampani na do dan kwakufo do so ato ne boase abo se twerefo abaso ne defo yi eno so ye de beto aso
ehonu na mampani echiremu sese ye bonsam twerefo achi ewo wonum adwuma ye ho anya se wonum freedom wo mo fa hodie ne etiatia so na emom no eye ne kwan so ano se de be asam twerefo ebetumi agina yie na onum aye wo madwuma yie
sanswa na adwumadie kro no ase mampani wo se ono na ho papa pabre bia atwamu ane modern ya oboye ema mrebia na etia obi a obebie na no akasa etia ban ne ade yetimi twam no wose na ho papa se otimi tu sa na mo no
Ghana Revenue Authority GRA so amanebo efro no mo ba ne so se ye cashless ne say se bia obetua bibi kura na ato no obetimi atua na bank ana se abefo kwa so sa pepe da se kire etie
yebeko amanane nsemu na nkra efri China eba ne se wo mo aye coronavirus adrobi ewiase nyina pom den kabom ko hu agi atum se edro no eye
afei ye kopiem awo Ethiopia potam wonu mu a nyagro yase woni o tigri mantam ni mu no emu be so am abupe di okron ba ko 91% aduane ho odin de mo num sesi apa
ya de be kire mo ngirisi memu no chese United Kingdom amarebo ba ne se afei di o ma recordo de di kan kura konkratem o ma nya coronavirus ya de ye akum nipa ba kokora e wo man ni mu de di kan ye ntwan ye na de atu aso bia ye mfa emra korea na sem kro bia santine anuanom
PSA Ladi enafi
social distancing ambassador of Ata Frimpon afei azuafo nsam no nkire mu ma ba mu atamu se de siti achi makro yamfa mamu ya no asenso ana sentintampa de audio mi yenamu oyerepa.com I promise fmolai.com tune into Oyerepa FM ya ba Facebook on ma Oyerepa radio yanko YouTube on Oyerepa FM ma yeni ehia na ensam no jewodie said you see etie afei yanko amanebo no wane saying amanebo ya yensa kan Oyerepa kasi apron so anwumre kirem se na wo wura bi obodwa dini wo free mountain so ana so free fie wo ba mountain so no wane ordinanim fine na ba ya na so anwumre ya wo kuroi sadabre akakra na nanim ya akwadina chi ya ne sa CCD gas fo ni bi kire no a onu afa no anche nkura oh fine na Facebook live ne so monkwai na akọ Facebook live ne so Oyerepa radio okọ edem nyagro oshowura na no hunwi kama na eja osho ani asese de esi aso peja dufu no a dum se wani a kire no afa anche no kura so ni nyagro na ni ase no amuamu kama na kokoba ne sai city gas for say no kura so mu kire no mu yansa ma na nimu ntum se ya
ofata
yeah
are nipa o kono so retired boxer na
na mintimi hunu eze utumi se
uza papa no wasun
wasun na sunso ahoho na
na kam kan utumi se se
asun na nkasa na etuatua wo na sa
asun no ahoho no
na utimi de mrasha
se asun ye ni momu no na ma ne hunu yo se asun ye bo
asun egregere etimi hunu za
ya bona kanta ho no sa no a
bibi momentum product of mass and velocity
okay tira sa no se
momentum
gada momentum ni sa
the gravitational force na si you know as your pe ama dia ho
potential energy na
anodin the gravity na
no force of gravity no dia
gina that material moment
hey
we are say
but yeah hear say no say benkum ni say dey face ni say di fa no ba benkum na sa atreche ni fa
say utu say benkum no say na ni benkum na hwe ni pakro nti oje ya oje fa benkum ya semo kire kwa amanso na isibu amaboy amane na nyame anim se we pa de ye ka se enya sra ni na ball no na city gas fo ya bia
edro sasumbo no edro
pc
no ko ya bibi wo
sumbo bu go
ya po e de be si ya amayapo wani hu na so so
man ke me kwan ba no say on net yen sorry on ti o me fam no man am say me no man ma o na o me bottle bi sister bi de bottle bi bijam to bottle bi bijam na wade ne bag e de ashim to bu ko tam bottle abesa no man egunam so this mo fa no man nko na mo fa ni bag ni enye de enfim na bag no obi na di bijam anu an ma no asema no ana ke me fo no ni pa be sinsin mu nyine tugu mi so abo mi ti de me hu hwe mu yan se na ni pa twa wo hia
wonu de wa mfa won san ka wo
ndawi ma ba me san ku ya
se o na wo honam ya wo se
me ni su biri minti e ko ba sa se me hu mu nyina ma ye bete
ibi atu da na we no first
ebinto me da
amo mu dia prato no mano ho na
ano ma ne die mi ja ma o mu de kokora
omo mo bo no hu ma be hu o
me hu o
omo ye do be se
me ni pa enum
ye nyamia nim nukure ni otu se papa no obie nanum kura ya ne ya zo otu se ya bonu ma sabe nsi aduasa me enu egu nanum kura da bram se enyebe yi aguntu ompeso obeba nanum kase kakre be dio asemo bintu ne da na bia se we to no prensa so obewu ebi aso no pan na we tin aso ase nganya ne se tie kana asem
enipa ye stubborn there but you want to say process one for court
ana wase ne ma ne kran so maje ti san kanya bro
we no kontima ne kuta bi no se mi wo video no na me se ye fa akonya ne ebubu akonya no nti me ye se mi video no ma ha ma me de o ye no hweyie wate
ani enso na duro
se se hweyie wate
Friday na me se Friday ye twam ye omo de horse wi asisi car bi so na horse onte
emo
onte onte asema e ba no enti se nipa no kra no wo ka se munso ba bia mote no nipa no onte honestly Friday no mo na anim ha ye inside tie dia eni mo fa ba bia
o mu fa ba bia
se sa na tie dia o mu fa ba bia god justice is justice
yes no papa ya
sa na tie dia mo fa ba bia
ampa na mbo no
se sa na tie dia mo fa ba bia honso no kra na ema
ni awonu kasa honso ni mu kura otika ni mu wakasa honso na pamba bra wanted dia waka wonu ankasa bra wanted dia waka honso
dede o krom already enti no wono honso na sisi no ema
mu bru bi mu so yenim binum so areas bi wonu mu duru wonu mu fa mu sanka obi awo mu ya no ma jiji kakra no mu di amamo no mo atwem ho no ma betro no mu didwa woni ama mo dia na mu kakra
ene no ansa krache wa pack oni ma na ye be wa action that's all na wa catch no wa pack
wo mo a mpanifo no hwe mo a eduro wo mo twadie mu no ene wo masumbo no eduro wo mo nsan no wo mo fo mo kan
yes dey eduro na how
dabi
aya mo menya abotre ne me bi o wa wani mo hera wa wutim se ka bi abe pack as ya hwe ne ties bi egu as ya oh graw near the conference campus near the agrepon na wo kona viet ni siwa ayafa ye ni bom me se wo kona viet ni siwa na wo de ade na bom wa tanko na ka beti
ozi v8
ya mo nya kakra
nya taxi drivers ne trotro ya no de bedi
no kra de ba bi nipa na park but v8 no sake wo ya v8 no akwa ti we no
ya cramp we ya ja v8 no se si da bia ya ni mu ya da bia o mu nya ne sa
on my way ene ene on my way ene ene
hwe se you betwa ma bi ene okoto small boy bi so obabo no
ko no
bude na ni so wam na ni so lu no obu adafo se ade no se betwa no se o ne twede na drum eja kwa so
bia ma
drum one nsa no ma
ya ma papa ne ya kwa ma ne kafra nyamia nim yenim ba bi o tie pa anwumre nke be kwa hwe na ya do
ye de adwuma ma no hwe na trashe da che obenya nsunsuan so
ene de vise papa na ni afi
good
ana yan ka se na ni afi nso to ya so
de anya adwuma bi akoto obi ho wa mo na som se wono kra
na ade no vise ubo obi akra ebro nka ho yese mo mpam mo enti niama no wo de wo se niama wo de amamo mo asesa mo ko ebro
no we hwan ya mo ntimi nche no simple we hwan
o jira ho ntimi
enti we ebro na sabe ye be ma ade na asolve problem na
papa akra se o kwa akopeka kro be aba ma
o ti be bi anya just arrest the person mo sesa niama nka ho pu ara mo fa ne nko we nya brasem
ya kan so na musu yetumfo ese de o ma sha ase anya kire obro no be bro mo nti won so ba no atu honfo no a ba bi eni kwa so tentra o se ne o se ne
wa head u bi ato so enti anya hweye yanko animu Badia Bayahana Baking can a badgeri sebetie bedabase. As someone nano, a sorry man with the day, 1 year or Juma labwa. One more I are Sabia who do a war maymo. And yet, the tea and say, one quajubo, Yadi omba quajuma, quajuma. A shall see fresh and Timantam call for not teaching hospital. And a try ya, nelco. Nenra, a shall simple finance on in some penny force or waka. Yes, 1 year. What is strike no asha so no when wonyai. Edidi mu an enra Ghana ye mra hye bedwafie. Committee bedwakua wonu hwe apomden sam so no. Efre lab fo ye omko strike yi se. Wo mumra no no ntina se no nka sam no. Se de be ya asomdwe embeba. Ampani ampa ene dey wonu makwa atena se ama lab fo ekuo e de abeto dwa se. Wo mo strike no enne Wamu de strike ni nyina kogu anya dia wonom kɔ esan sɛ wonom ye ogidie sɛ jindadi yazo emre pebaba lokachi de chaw yazo emre mu ode ebeba esan sɛ mpanifo no kɔ hia mra hye bedwafie no wonom de pobia to wonom tirimu to wonom sɛ sa ɛpɔ no wonom abɔ no bibia bedadin de ama wonom Dr. Abudu Rahmani president edema lab for enkabomuku
yaba parliament ebe hu parliament mpenyifo na ye de ensen ni na atu omonim omamayen assurance say omehwe asenimu nti as a result say ye ne omo edi nkita ho ye call off the action amaye all our members across the country say almost starting enko eduma na se ne etino ye di nsem nyina to parliament nim na parliament no ye wo gije say omehwe asem no maye the action has been called off inti ene is almost over inti nyame adoma from ochina ekon ometini a report back to work. We don't feel coerced like my senior colleague indicated earlier. We've taken a decision at the national level that the action taken by CAT and all the regional chairmen has been taken up by NEC. And so there was that decision that we should present the issue to the relevant body. And certainly, whatever the request we are requesting for is not going to be a one-day issue. It cannot be sorted out by one day. So it will take a process. And once they gave us the assurance, and then once we saw that there is that clear guideline as to how to resolve the issue, we decided to take that decision. So we didn't feel coerced at all. It was a decision taken by the National Executive Council, and as the president, will have to certainly obey the council's order.
Yo, Dr. Abu Abdurrahman, and I didn't say way to Jano or Trese Ampa. We are said the ano brebre Emma Adeto Anaba eto. And to say committee no Rashabajum upon the Bejoku after one more Masha one bono, Boshano ebebemu. Natural for Edema Ghana Medical Association. Akasa HSA and Semina Kofa by and say Confornachi Teaching Hospital, Yade and Pennyphobi Baho, hematologist be so Mumra a honor Maya Juma. Na no and a mom from Fru Papa, ya Kofa strike and a buyer. Na Dr. Justice Yansena, white for Emma Ghana Medical Association, says Sadia no more yano. Sabia Sonia, Omanya Bonibia, Nefum Sobiansu anyhow.
It is very, very deficient and inappropriate for such a specialist hospital not to have clinical hematologists. I've explained clinical hematologists. Because if they don't have, then what it means is that as a huge institution like Confanoche, they will not be able to manage cases like the leukemia, the lymphomas, and what have you. And they serve arguably half of the country. If you look at the northern end all the way to the south, Confanoche actually consumes or captures a lot of patients. You can't get everybody traveling all the way to Kolebu for care. And even in Kolebu, if this is allowed to continue, what it means is that the clinical hematologist can also practice. Then Ghanaians who unfortunately will be afflicted with these diseases that we are talking about, like the blood cancers or liquid cancers, as we call them, will never have any care. The issue of being taken outside, then rest its head. And how many of us can do that? What it means is that I'll be sentencing a lot of people to their graves very early in life, all because as a people we have decided to do a disservice to ourselves. So then Konfanochi decides to get people who are into clinical hematology to provide a certain rule. And at some point, I'll give you some of the other rules of laboratory physicians. They were sent there just to do their work. And Honorable Chair, these are people who are just practicing their lawfully chosen profession. They have studied all their lives to achieve that specialization. And suddenly, some cadre of staff are saying, move them out of there to another unit. If they really wanted to practice internal medicine, with all due respect, they would have specialized in internal medicine, not laboratory medicine. People should have the freedom and the right to practice their lawfully chosen profession. The fact that you are a non-clinical hematologist does not mean that there's no need for a clinical hematologist in the hospital or in the lab space. Now we believe that the laboratory space is not for only one group of persons. Beyond the medical doctors, beyond the medical laboratory scientists, there are the biomedical scientists as well. They have been pushed out of the laboratories as well. And this is not helping all of us.
Yo, Auntie Dr. Justice Jansen, the Casa 18 and say, Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, Blabo Fono. Yeah, the doctor we buy some of my opinion, Rasta still militant, them not overstand. One month here, essence a lab of one. You'll be home, or my Jumaya, Yanka lab of one, you bet me a Fabi. No, by a penny or Nadirum Coffer Doctor Ancasancasa so medi one so do one penny. Intend a coffee pinch pinch by now. Dr. Jansen, H. say, Papa went some than the buy, and also Dr. Juman was your body a quananima tea. A dear Bentin on Fata, or Fatara some than the buy, and to bomb than the bar, no man for cocoa pino. Debbie, the bonnet so soon than the buy when you say, but me a Jumano, now why in ye.
I put in one, yeah, that's why Batara was your for the city and also the baby say. Kumawu, as a Timan Chamaya, not as a Abaya should be a pegadias who are to us a brain, we are 15 million do so tone. Now to us a brand box, a Cacabia Bay, Cacabia pipeline, Yaban Diabro Focus, yes, and no, and I'm not sure you open Muho. When we know for the Baswa, yeah, said Debbie. And yeah, now young Concofa was swap for shop from this one. Now, honorable, quite my man makes it in India. South with you, yeah, young year. Jenny and Ukrainian coupon me a penny whereby. So be someone was a papa, when to me hobby. And yeah, no. I didn't see a year. What yes, and ye, Nanky, we are crown, Eddie Kang, a befed me for a tosubium, and call for more baby, I could jump on the papa, dear, women, I bet me a coho. Nunti, a concourse, I said, Paddy, Ghana yet here. Na opene fele baso ani esentre ni ya wo mra shebe dwemu Emmanuel Kwakwansa ena edin komono no ncheche mu a odi tu dwani fele baso a
menua efa ekakumawo a eyetiti kro be masafo chrubu akudua ni kro na enoma bebre wo hono ma esese enka etimi akwanimu esinese ebi ne ye district hospital ane o anase na health center ena nyamenchari echire edru polyclinic status but o hwe nipa wo district ni mu a edoso pa abai NDC time ena yede ka district hospitals ane ye ho MNS for company na eba mu se omoba besi district hospital 2017 January na nanka nhihye no wo no se ombewie project no but free 2017 ebeka se afi etwa mu ekọ na wie just almost 4 years now no project no ntimi enkoso aye how bebre ya attribute to fortune to a whole lot of things be all say else no a letter of credit say ye activate mo mutimi ko jebosia sika no wo UK through former Barclays Bank na sika no company timi access sika no nam say sa letter of credit na wu a yen reactivate no nti na masika no yie na ayeden aden na say no take be say 4 years ansana yetimi aye ho adwuma.
On say yes baby otomfo bo no na ho hia ne pa. Kire say honorable Flebazoa sa tro aso say hwe enkofo benya nwuma ye o kofo benya nwuma ye papa kire say anya bia ona asini bia wono wawie suku dada tifie midwife wi ono be push chim ni tia betra pempem kukua kire say wo ba ne ye ho chem no wo nyina benya nwuma ayo so ahunu intini bim.
Project no say we are a befa empanko 120 bed capacity project enya semketua ye betimi enya nurse and wo honomo nursing training ye betimi enya bi wo honomo mortuary bi betimi aba ho and a whole lot adaya esese ye besi ama which is part of the contract ama contractor abayejuma efo na ejuma ebro 20 I just say a cromwa ena eba bechichire no ne ba ebema mebuno enye dwuma aye celebrate dwuma ne de keka ho nyina omo beton ade especially taxi drivers every kumawu eba ba bia hospital no no emotwe kakra taxi drivers betimi enye adwuma aye
na just taxi drivers nyina hia pa na ne kura mu no ene ko ba se honorable kwakwaji ma menu nya se so for wo sha pomde so we ni e ka wo kumawu ache na uya no say.
Mr. Speaker, we have gone beyond where my colleague is trying to ask questions from. We have done the amendment to both the supply agreement and the loan agreement, and if it hadn't been this omission, the lawyers will have taken what Parliament has approved, and by now, the contractor will be able to access some of the funds that were left sitting in the account. So, Mr. Speaker, we are now working with the table office, and when this exercise is completed, the contractor can now access funding, and then work will move at a faster rate.
Ye chesika, ye heskanim, ansani ye kumawu for monjay, Yankropo ya dumina gane, yeska, and chakra, nti we and yamabia, guapruma, in him say, Yankropo Beshan Wanimunyam, Yankropo ya dumina kukrodo sikane bape, a baby yina mamo, and yamuti nechino, so for ya was share upon this honorable, Koku Ajma menu.
Ye kwa humano Sonia ni Ora Charleston Cancer, Ghana Association of Medical Lab Scientists. Lab for Bejakuo, Wamo Sante Mantemo and Krabatano Trafo, and no. Yedin Komo, na Yedika Abomo, Cassiano say, Wamo call strike nene, almost say strike no, or my call off, such as strike no, or more ejay, or my just strike no more. Yankodin Komomra, or Rankan Sama Joy.
Major Saminaba.
Where dear, as someone bay, minim say what to be was so more.
I'm here from the immediately. When you're 24 into town, I see the
Yo, ain't he brother number share you massy?
Yakopo, yeah, the more it's none of us. The two union in any never said the master of the hospital.
And Kita would appear committee, no better many HB, and I am one secret.
Oh, eba life. You tell us, na you happy, and he near Papunya at the company for him.
Okay.
Near Petty the cow them. In a mere company phone, so at to a suffer or Mashaba job. I'm a parliamentary select committee on health. F3 and penny for fair, stakeholders in and to among so my acquaintance, my clients at the end of Mina to money.
Okay.
There is 2 money and penny for say. On say how now the top penny and na penny to the 90s were ya who share any in 24 share about say yenya gidi or mumu sha 7 na de no kre any pepe ato abibia to na kama to mosre na enka yen yintumna strike no yen fancy here abram penny for e kan sem no entom de to yen penny for no yen penny for so agitu mu say yenya ne sa if you say ye share Ghana ha Ibn Shabaja Moni Shembra, Hona, ye camera, Sembra Shabaja, as a was a one, there, temper. In a was a this one, you came 25 now, yes, I was on.
Okay, and you heavy dear, and then I call bro for Cassa and Tiwaba Haidi. Yeah, a to the beer, and Pendu Duan was a strike, of course, to say, ya. ultimatum bitimi ba ene mama ye brese anaya mamu brese mo hwe nka asem no ensiesie na man ka asem no brane so no man ka asem no a ye besa ye say ana cycle ne besa akomu biom ultimatum bi ebre bi sa epie mo
for now dear yemfa bre yema omo bre omo aja to me say onse parliament obia hunisa asem we asem a very sensitive say hu hianche omo de aka dwumadia obedi no abra no bra na so be ka ho asem animu ye enya de ebeja to ho emetintin bia enti omo etu omo na sisi no ye pese ye trust omo ya trust omo nti ye de eta ye ni nyina mo se animu ye ombe koswa ni ye di nkuta ho akosi se omo de asem no besi ni puma sibia
okay
enti ye ma omo ultimatum bia
okay secretary ye dase eni unchirechire mu a wanya edi amaye na ekwa ni mu no ye besan aba ho bio ye dase
answer dawase
Ora Charleston Cancer eye Asante Mantem twerefo edema Ghana Association of Medical Lab Scientists woni oya lab adwuma ye no ana lab adwuma ye fo no wo mo mpanifo no baako ewo Asante Mantem hanom a wono na twerɛtwerɛ ema wonom ye da so a ye gina apomode ensem emu enche kra ena krobia ebo kase bia na Ghana ya pomde so for ru akwaku agima manu ekyerɛkyerɛ mu sɛ asopiti bi ni dwuma bie a yɛde ahya ne sa yɛhwɛ ni mu sɛ obedi no asa dwumadie no etwentwa ne nase kakra wode nkyerɛmu aba na yɛkɔ nkran so a la General Hospital nso dwumadie kɛseɛ bi wɔ hɔ no ma ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmudie ama na no kra no ɔmutwa ahoma mu ma Ghana yɛnyina yɛhu ɛbɛba so na honorable kwaku agima manu Ghana pomde so afɔ se o ba ma Ghana asɛm bia ni hɔ ba soro ma yensuro esanse dwuma no a ho pɔ no ɔmabɔ ato hɔ a ɔmbɛsane mu edi amaye na ne nyinaa ne sɛ dwuma ko be frɛ ne Sinosia wɔmo dwuma ko kɛse a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmo nkrata ɔmo insurance cover contractor no obedi dwuma no yɛbɛma ne insurance cover contract no yɛde ma wa ɛwɔ akwan bebre ɛwɔ sɛ wo fa so ansa na contractor watimi aba asase no so abedi dwuma no enti saa Sinosia company no ena behwe ama contractor obedi dwuma no aba besi asopete no wama no insurance na contractor no saa dwumadie no wonyanya ni nyina awie ye ema wonom nkrata contractor ne nkrata odi bedi dwuma no enti Ghana Michael Salmon kudi yenya abotre na ni nyina oba ni nyina pepepepepepepepepepepepe ebi ono so kra de coronavirus no baaye no abeha oman no tini ani abere pa ena afa so asase a womo besi adan no wo so na afa aboama apomden akoso no saa no so no so ntenkaye no omugusu a onomo ka se de beya no ma ebeto kwamiti ni nyina kase ani twa enche kra da chi bia ni akirikiri no la General Hospital no onbehwe no masi.
The La General Hospital project is a turnkey one. Some aspects of the project, such as demolition, fencing, topographical surveying, have commenced already. So, Speaker, the project has indeed delayed due to the following challenges. 1. Following the approval of the financial agreement and the commercial contract by both Cabinet and Parliament, the guarantor, Sandoz, was required to cover the project to close the transaction. Sandoz delayed in the issuance of the insurance cover. However, the Minister of Finance has made the necessary engagements and consultations, and it's expected that the insurance cover will be issued soon for the contractor to improve the pace of work. Second reason for the challenges for the delay, the fact that due to the condition of the land, it was critical to do an intrusive geological exploration to help determine the depth of the foundation and the sizes of the structural members for the facility. This was critical to avoid any structural problems which affected the old building and led to its demolition. The Speaker, the very waves of COVID-19 in various jurisdictions in Europe and China have also contributed to the delays.
Ghana apomden swafo ani owura kwaku agye my menu.
Egusu a ya koyanim nyumre no sianse ma do ye nsa aka no a ana yede ma wo Oyerepa 100.7 FM so chichi pinche na ya to aso akwa na ni mo manga na afimpinu ani aduonu ya kire 2020 afra sa aba ya akoto ye na num ya nse dan che papa bia no emu nsam ye bebre pa ye wie ye na akoto nsam ni ade bebre ewom na abato ompesu ya ba akoye ho ba asem ya mentimo ase so de ye ma ne kokopie mu ase ni bia ani abato ompesu ya ye asen atifi abato ompesu ase kire asen North constituency mrashe ojani ya wo winyi ye ni se wodi nim ya ndisi amanyoko no mrashe bedwani ononyamfo James Jechikwesen na wowura ya bato no akire no obi amma no so dwidididididi ni koko gina aseni bia ya ni pakro de ni koko gina ye no emu nsam sobo ne ntansa ye de ma no ene se papa no okura ma mienu to mikrata dual citizenship anu okura Canada ma no okuro mikrata no se okura Ghana de esa no amamra konsu ya ne nkura bata de okro na akwa ye dikan nefa ya edikan no article 94 clause A clause 1A no etia enti papa no ni gwan so timi ya brase ojani wo manga nem ani ya de titan kura nsa ne be kwa akoto aba na ya kokoto ene na ya man boni aboaje wa no tewa honum aboaje wa no tewa ba homanso yi koto anum kwa asetena ade anum kan ye owura Abraham Aliba ya we ni mra nimni no doya ya na nsen kro be kire sen ko wo withdraw wo twenu afrasem num no no ekokosi sen ano tewe
odo
wa dama yankwa na koto onum transe no justice Kwasibu ache wose dia yi
ana court ewo Kikweta court ni aba justice Kwasibu ache etna sendiri yin yin awoto no hon sentama ni busu a yedu nkoma court busu a enhyefe asema Yira Michael ankoma ni fa ne kodan court no e be hwe mani na se ne mani kan sa be pa a hwe ne de mani dam e de ato na ene court class na people be ka every chat to court class na wo me busunu no ena Yira Abraham Aliba wo no njime ma chicha Yira James secret no two fan kama eni tamanyuko no e wa sin no se ne be da court se ono ankasa obeso ochini ntinche obeso ochini ntinche wontumi ntwaso na won chicha Yira James secret e court na court de kata no de share senke ne court class tena ni tena sia ni be she na ya kaka no so ene kwa setina no court ni chese Yira Abraham Aliba manini no chese wontumi nyem ejicha Yira James secret e court bi mu no e was senka wo boy Yira James secret na manisa so chese wa mana mane no chese also obo na mane na so ba ko pem manini for ababi na ne mo chicha na na so no anso ba court ababi chicha na mo na hu ta kwa ne dia fa so na e ko ba se ono aka se ochini ho sinchen wa bra won bo penina mania court no edine kaka ni tuma emi ntansa na court be she ni application for seal of proceedings na anase obewie na obehye se so ochini ho sinchen no onko bo ni client di charge no court ni wa jin the secret no onko bo na mania na so no pe mani ni fofo a na wa pe anaso no so be ba na wa pe na court kwa se tina nyina wi you know Yira sami jemfi mani ni e ba court no ni adaje ana ochechi mchensem chofo se dintia Yira Abraham Aliba se wontumi ngine mu court chicha Yira James Jekwesi ndio ne se amwase na bebe mo de betu jase wensinia jase Kwasibu ache kan de sase no bo wo di trim dada no handsam na na Yira Aliba hu ni se pepe ye ni atentene nim entumi nkoso wasem santi ugina so a wono chese wo twini wasinchen sami jemfi mani ni chechensem nti
ene ye ba court no lawyer ugina ho ema honorable Kwesi first respondent ewo asemwa ekoso court mu eye lawyer Abraham Aliba o de krata abre court no se enya de a obitumi akoso awo case ni mu as lawyer for honorable Kwesi enti ene na court ye se oba biti sa asem no na wahweso obeji atum ana se onye ntu se lawyer Aliba entwe ne ho fira asem ni mu na sebio obi ti se lawyer Aliba so otwe ne ho fira asem ni mu a na obisa se adambie na asi de tie ne se lawyer bia wo ho se o wasem bi mu a obehwe ama atentene ne aye adwuma de friend of fair trial to your lawyer na wo di asem ama wo client na wo ba court na wo hwe ensem bi a judge ne ka na wo hu se judge se bio wa ye na adwen dada nti se me tokoso ase oni asem na ya de be man tenchi akoso etia me client wo sa lawyer no eni se oboa masa injustice ne koso e wo se wo twe ho na nipa foforo ebeto asem no so munyina munim the C court on the 12th of April ebra presiding judge a edini di manopa
o make comment bi wo court a na e kire say asem no kra no a fe na ye ba bebo hu nkuru no ono de waye na adwen dada wabu awie ene senka na ya serve honorable question with application no na wada ne ho so aba court a nka court be tii asem no na so obeji atum ama lawyer amale ba twene ho na won twene ho a court no e di atodwa but the nam say emra ne say wose ye serve honorable question nanso bisi ne yen serve no na wonnim sa nyema we a ekoso nti no court no tu asem na hye 8 June yehwe ni mu say by that time na lawyer amale ba mo aboa ama yetimi a serve no na yetimi aba asem no so
Any equity many minutes and agency one and an hour church in Seminole Edia Check Court. Now we na you're rich the Chinese and we church for mind the Manu Kuno in months and so. Yeah, that didn't and chef would in common or chest near Echo Sunny now, no say a choir in your fashion of a seminar and aka craving your boy or myself family could in teacher Manasseh. A come more fast or not at once in the Santa one or general crowd and Chelsea near some difference and yeah. Work can or Chelsea is an every big kind of backwards now Babacasan, and longer card than also what you say, and then I said no, and then back now it was some theory to the nonsense and food in Como backwards class of name, I can't say the question me and say a power more fast on Yacha sometimes a baby tree man almost a snap and many media Malibaba sin and nine or more Alibaba Sada no measure quarters and the era and I would do or now Amalibaba sin and nine then the none the more Sakaya or more Edicata Bana will be better missing and nine so quickly other transfer if you try you agent the secrets in one farm by you are ready to cement and so now that dear church and family.
Yaba court no ena yawo Irishim dencha lawyer Abraham Maleba ya lawyer ma first respondent ora James Achikwesi no enka ni motion about the orchon when the oil lawyer ma ora James Achikwesi no court na batano na wa ma imwai obi an yo tuma hye obi de onyamma obi de lawyer we are not opposed to that motion na yabai ora Abraham Maleba ekebi said na first respondent in Oye James Achikwesi was 7 now. So 17 now, Emrana Chad order was 7. But I mean lawyer, my dream in there. You engage the service of lawyer Abraham Maleba. You read James Achikwesi. To read James Achikwesi, sir, no lawyer back in there on that only biwa. You put the count up on a man there, you read James Achikwesi. It's all by one there, Abraham Maleba court, Robert Ken there, Nick client now, often on Medina 7 on young way of the process in court. Now, my fan too, my journey so there. I send pressure, I send pono. In a impa, Ojem, Ora, James Achikwesi, yeah, lawyer Kojoga Adaudu. Emra, Kojoga Adaudu, Oya de own Yinama, James Achikwesi, you know. One for motion, he came by notice to the court there. There's a change of representation from Kojoga Adaudu to lawyer Abraham Maleba. Then we continue with the case. But in a clear attempt to delay the case, this time they come in the form of a motion, which is also allowed, but it's all part of the delay strategy that were adopted to delay the case.
The Asambako, yeah, war quarter. I see a tiffy about 1% of Brazil, and for James Achikwesi. Now, some year walk out to say, we crackara the man to Mikrata, as a Kragana, mine to Mikrata, and a man equine. So I am Brazil, Jenny, a dark quarter, no, but I name me, Kojoga, the Udu. And the phrase I know you charging who drew baby was my mamma, Sasson, or Chin, who free Muna, Amalibabe, and in Pabuanum. And name me, my best friend. I am young, Amaliba, also say, watching and wefras and Ubisi, not the dear Quanda was same was, but I knew be a bass or Baby who you chairman as will be up as or baby didn't tiffy. Yeah, quite SMP. And the answer no, and a court to Quassetna, Cape Coast High Court 3. Yes, you know.
Yes, you know, I was a young trust idea creating now. Mancarina da Cufado, and then what is not to get boys and for Basopa. Where you are, mediation, yeah, a Biblium central for Akanifua, or more Asia Mucha conference. Now, Median was here, and I'm a pediatrician, said, Covenant by ye, central for Adia, just a quania fast on Yabuano, na a quania, and they yafas or Yabohu de Uro. Don't one Shasia near catch and call for Covenant and Bo be a who ye, a covenant in them will be under to no more nose mask, swallow and Mudrosno, and as a dross that the best dross visa. Now the ashe, and no wet no crano, oh, hand sanitizer, kama te sɛ de akanta de ba hai na no so de afa nsa ho so ahunu no na nkyɛn de ahe kura bi o wo de wonam kura no a aya no ayeboza mfa nsa nto nipa ne nsa yam enkyia no ni nyina no sentwerɛfoɔ ne yɛboa yɛm asa ne ma ne nyina trɛtrɛ yɛ wo horo wo nsa ade akye wo ba horo nsa saa horo nsa so a yɛse andara ne water kyerɛ sɛ mansuo de mu mampani abɔ sentwerɛfoɔ aba so ne yɛse ate na ɛde abiem ɛne wɔ sɛ sɛ ne baabi asini nam wɔ no na akwakodu sɛ Federation of African Journalists aba bɛhyɛ mo Lisa Hotel nkran na yɛyɛ sɛ nhyiamu no ɔno nso aba bie yɛ a wɔbɔ yɛ aba so yi deɛ di hɔ bie mu a yɛbisa no ɔno nso yi ano ne sɛ ɛkwan bɛn ne yɛbɛfa soɔ ne atoto yɛn ho ama ɔma kronkron Ghana ebibrem atumi akɔ n'anim na wɔde saa nsɛm wɔ yi atu dwa na wɔnam nsɛntwerɛfoɔ so abiem ɛkyerɛ sɛ yɛdi ma akɔkyere papa aban nkotabuo papa yɛ ɛbɛsene wɔmanfoɔ no anim ama wɔmfa ate aseɛ afei ɛfa ne nneɛma ahodoɔ a wɔmanfoɔ no so de wɔbɛgyim no wɔmabo aban no ama aban no ani soade no atumi aba mu no ɔman no atumi atumpɔn no ɛnso yɛ adeɛ bi ahina na ne nyinaa mu no na wɔsi ɛbibire mu no ɛnyɛ baakofoɔ kɔkɔ ɛna ɛkɔ wase yɛ nyinaa anim so ɔno wɔdi ma akɔkyerɛ paa mampani na adɔ akɔkufoɔ ado ɛno nti nsɛntwerɛfoɔ mu no
The diversity and free flow of news and information are fundamental to the healthy workings of any democracy. I thank you, the journalists of this country and of this continent, for keeping our governments accountable. It is the media above all that has encouraged our people to come more and more discerning, vocal, and questioning as a civic public. We have recently had a good example of how the media can be a force for good, and that was manifested in how we've been dealing with COVID-19. Without a lively press that worked hand in hand to deliver not only the news about the outbreak of COVID-19, but also to communicate the strategies and public health messages that have been put in place around the continent, we would be telling a very different story today. Journalists did and continue to do a yeoman's job in the public education of the citizenry about COVID-19 and vaccination efforts across the continent. Journalists in this instance were and are partners to government across the continent, and through this joint effort have helped save the lives of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of African citizens. And I pay homage to the efforts of our journalists. There are three other matters of continental and national significance for which I appeal for the committed partnership of government and the media. The fight against terrorism and violent extremism, which are threatening the stability of all regions of our continent. The fight against climate change, including the preservation of the integrity of our environments and the sanctities of our water bodies. And thirdly, the fight against the illicit flow of funds from our continent, which the Thabo Mbeki Commission estimated conservatively currently at $80 billion United States dollars a year.
Now, don't go for Ghana Mampani, I'm watching Kano.
Yo, now His Excellency Jubilee House make it a Sarawu, Tanado Dankwa Ekufuado, and some in a foot to some one fan so or just a Ghana and say, Yandia Casa some trophy any freedom cra and some trophy any fahudie. Ye Juma ya noa ebikura nam so ama owo konton kro wi odaman sa komu krochwa man said ya kwato wo mato nananom e won se do ni nyina ya kasa wo madwuma ya mu a na nam so ma nipa bonfo bi akoku wo mo ene ye nka omanfo ya Ahmed Swale enkramantamu a nipa bonfo bi tena moto so ekoku no na no na His Excellency say won ya wafrem ne de o mabusua hyeden na yesa sa de no wo bom pae se ebi ebesi bio ekura sabi wo se de bio ebe nsi bio na emom no yensen training na sa wo ya ade bi na se enye na mfa kwa mu a wo se obi e ka kire wo san se e ka kire wo eboa e ma wo gire ye eye wadwuma no eye na ba ne sa nso a na nkire se sem training no ne fa ahodie no omanfo ekuram ana se akikire fa ahodie ana se ensem drofo eni fa ahodie. His Excellency na do dankwa Ekufuado
is what constitutes an attack on media freedom. It cannot be right, no matter where in the world the journalists are physically attacked or prevented from doing their work. Once that happens, it is an attack on media freedom, and it must be roundly condemned by all. As George Orwell rightly puts it, and I quote, freedom of the press, if it means anything at all, means the freedom to criticize and oppose, unquote. However, there seems to be an emerging narrative which is being proffered by some in Ghana that critiquing the work of a journalist constitutes an attack on media freedom. That certainly cannot be described as an attack on media freedom. Having the freedom to criticize and oppose should also mean that the media is ready to accept and work with criticisms of its work by the citizenry or officials. That, for me, is one of the surest ways of improving the public discourse of our respective countries, and we should all strive towards realizing this. This conference should also seek to address the phenomena of misinformation campaigns and fake news, which sometimes, unfortunately, are propagated by some in the media. The tendency to report on only one side of a story and pass judgment on it without wanting to learn or give a fair amount of reportage to the other side stifles the truth. The media should only be concerned about reporting the fact and should not lend themselves to being bought or being used to destroy the reputation of others.
Yo, was in Santrani be or some was yesi. Come here, more. Say we are quite ska will be ho. And every one's was someone banwa. I was say, a susha fire see moi, Okotia Fabako, Eka Fabako, Nayamua, no one atemwa de Bamano. Bakuno so munwa akobam tutu no dia so mdikam obaka ho asam saa afifi mu aba mu abobo mu a wo se ne dia ba ne saa na obi bo wo nsɛmtwani na wo yɛ saa wachi dia ya ikew ɛyɛ pop sanse chance no a wo de ba no ɛho mu asoa ɛno no His Excellency Jubilee House Megida Sarawuta Nado Dankwa Ekufo Ado.
A vibrant and unfettered media is the most
that's why woman penny na dan kwa kufu ado akache ne hyiamudie yi akwaso bi man terms and drofo ankabon kubata titire ne akuda ni ntire ya wadi ahia wada santrofo ano bi man tam nyina mu no wonu ma hyiamudie Lisa Hotel man penny na dan kwa kufu ado ne nsam ya wodi tu dwa wa ase bie no wochirim se onu sei ya na ho aho papa pa frise bro baba ye abando ya penny asani general na breso obo moti papa wo hwe ne fa ya wo ye se abando ya penny asani general ama ka ho bie ama mra bia ne atintim awe na de mra kan ka bi ye zonti mie wa no nka senti aban ne ade ye criminal libel law no yetimi twa mu efiri wo manga na mu ma kwa hunya ne fa ode ne ba ye ne obi atimi kira na adwen ne ade no a ye papa wo se ababebo manga na nkanko ne wo ma no empuntu wo se sa wo hwe kwani ofa so bo modern pimpim ya de fa brase odefie mu ama sa criminal libel law no nei ababaye adedada de atwa mu ebodin na aka asem no na kire se wo no ayobi papa na fekura wo sanso de atodwa ekirim se mraye bebo chidom atimi abo amansa nkrofo ne ya bi sa nsem bi ayepe aba tena ya hodo nyumanwuma hodo aye nhwemu brane ne ade right to information bill anei anonso iyatimi ajatum ama aba ye mra no wose enso eya ade ba ko a wode ho ne ho papa ba frise se wonso so adwenkyere so anka saa ne ma yedum nyina no enya ade se obehwe na no no chirim se criminal criminal libel law no ya woboa ma yetimi twam no saa bre no woba sa abando ya pani no na sentrofo bi wodum a wodum asem ne koso den se ya de samra no baba wi wonum criminal libel law no ane e wochirem se sentroni bi ti se Tommy Thompson ave Govikumsen ane e ben kwekunum nyina sei ni aso ma kan asem bi de afa aban bi ho ya ne yagire wonum ko achi den ya tere se no mu gina jem nanso nyankropon adawro ma otu anama ma criminal libel law free wonum ni ade saafo nyina obi anya ne ho fdi ye nei ayesa da onum a adwenkyere timi kwaso nsentwerofo ye nyi efa ahodie ya ye kyere ya adwen ni nyina eboa na sentwero da obo nyumako ye gina brane de ho no na timi boa na de nani ka de ye kyere hwe amamu se de esi ekro ma bibia ekoyie pa.
A vibrant and unfettered media is the most effective way to hold government and society to the highest standards of honesty, self-discipline, and delivery. Indeed, on 2nd August 2001, In the government of that outstanding Ghanaian statesman, His Excellency John Ajikun Kufuor, the second president of Ghana's Fourth Republic, a historic victory was won in the struggle of the Ghanaian people for liberty, and especially for freedom of expression by the repeal of the criminal libel law. This brought to an end more than a century-old regime of colonial laws repressive of free expression. I'm proud of the modest role I played in the process of repeal of the criminal libel law. As the Attorney General who piloted the repeal through Parliament, I was also responsible for the discontinuation of the then pending prosecutions under the criminal libel law of notable Ghanaian journalists Tommy Thompson, Kofi Kumson, and Ibn Kwaku for publications against personalities of the then government. The repeal of the criminal libel law has had a very positive impact on the development of the Ghanaian media, freeing it from unnecessary self-censorship and promoting a robust and critical media culture. In the process, it has contributed to the growth of a vibrant media that has won Ghana the reputation of having one of the most media-friendly and liberal climates on the continent. It has also contributed significantly to the deepening of democracy in our country, enhancing public accountability as a strategic goal of public policy.
Bama Boadado, Prema, Ado Fenton do the do, see idea your free SHS, Papa. Mammy back Adomo, Ganama Penny, Ado, Dankwa, Akufu, Ado no.
I was just saying, what might be answered to 20 years in a trosso. Swung to me here to be sad when it does so sad. Oh, anymore, and the yes, I trained America. Yeah, drivers, they can't on that get him. Be proud of one can with them, Namibia. A twan cassa, dear, a Yessica. Yeah, one of the Bumano, in the year, pioneer, dear, now. Ghana Revenue Authority, no, my innocence, be barefoot. Now, barefoot and now barefoot is a digitization, you know. Almost what room pens will be said, Crano, baby, a bit drew be a bit me a 3 hour tour. Now, a quantum of fast war, and in church, I wanted my mamma question, Sabacobi, Quasia. At one, me and you, at one, Omson Paracasiana, Ompeno, a honor, Hanadia Hibia, a Toronto, dear.
Of almost your mom pet, why she couldn't be I am pet why she could be a phobia. Only a one could judge now on a living on
the him, almost a digitization, and on any day, they say Ghana and you do here. Fan of Toronto. Remember a safe one in Aqua, a year Ghana Revenue Authority, I can sharing. The almost in service will be about what you say, all that cashless system, and now almost the about to say, you trust the chair to walk, and my say, young Cordial office again, and could share a tubia, and not say, just almost a share bank and would be our money one able to do my Ghana commercial bank, account, as they say, open to our own Cordial office. No one is to Ghana commercial bank. Let us away the Acadia, what I was the Kawusika, and I say, we'll check on with your now which you are coming. I pay almost say almost a year mobile needs to be ever count where you one woman to me and Coban, and Coachia son, no, ever power and a pay our power fauna, and a wow mobile money, no which I was so come, now a quarter almost 16. As I copy of Ghana Revenue Authority, I was at the man somewhere, a Jim Kumasteno, your name a principal revenue officer. I am Mr. Etiama Samuel, senior, a protection come. The Ensema will check him at the chair, ABN.
Nya pachetia ni se fi usumia ye wuremu ye twin payment aka ye CB of Fausika obabitua tax we buy office engineer office ababitua ye nyi sa cash na we habio nya ye be ni se no obesu tua tax ye was some selected banks bi wo ho a ye yiwom to say commercial bank titiru ene other banks echi bema edwadi phone nyina sorte a mo betimi akọ na mo akwakotua mo tax no e wo ho no they case online na say engineer is going cashless nitia wotwamu a ani se de mechechin kese ye nyi sika na say check e wo habio sika bia wo de be ba so de bitua tax bia no e say wo de cost banks ya ye de ba betudwa na say commercial bank eka ho na wako akwakotua utase na kam ye momu sisi no eno nso ye abefo kwan no nso bi enti eno nso ye code bi wo a wo pese utua ye de be ma em se afi ne afiti me bia ase enti emre ne ko nanimu no ano ye de betudwa na momu number na ewo no nso ya ma wo enti se bia wontimi nko bank na nkonkotua usika na ewo ho a saa code no ho a eno nso wo ye de fi umumu account so e de balance so eno nso itimi jitum na wo tinam saa kwan no so e de etua tax
na meko Enuachi ena ura start esia master note na SADS just where there was one that would share to apply e Ghana say enya say omode abel for kwan so abam just a lot now say me go share e so said in sene kasa no say was rest obi a go share ne to e ban and now say baby we go share say bia almost the time e bia emfa efuma and no e kwan so ene beboa
ya mekatia ni se ya fe enamba ye bese obia se omon ho modern se de wonante ba ha na obitua no sa pepepe na yese se o mebo modern so anante akọ no makọ akotua no ho pepepe me hu sense san ye bia anye den ememu sense bia ememu banks no edoso achi no ye de betudwa na omu nyina ehu nti se nye commercial bank nko ana ye betua no ho ye wo be se 22 banks wo ho akomase ya minim se sa banks ni nyina ye benya bi ye den e wo ha bia wo ko ho na se ukuta sa wo sika na wo document ade ye se udutua utas na omo beche no mama receipt pepepe nti mejia sa akwanya so nyame de asere ye dwedifo ene won aye no mu di dwuma nyina ye taxpayers nyina se no mo man ha o mo se de wonante ba ha na ye je no sa pepepe wonante ukọ bank wa omo ba ju sika na pepepe no mama receipt
ba mi akwasua nshaba ena motie no nka no obisia anti we Ghana Revenue Authority kwa foforo omde aba na omde ba jeje to no bi eno no Grace Gift Herbal Clinic and Laboratory Service sebra na diabetes hypertension hepatitis ni na tuase de ama bema e wasa wodi ade no edin no fa den bobre mrem na yemu aba so amache so ate bema de so kotie ni wa bese afi wodi mremre mu a eno na wo yi chombo ni kura wo beba na kiti so no ya china ntwina mpaasi won so na yiketwe bi ti said ya you know ya se afre ne bese kiti bi ne ya to so o wi anfili akomazo na yiye tibra oba so ya steam wa de ne ma ya frɛ ne vagina steaming and ye pese mu ne bi hu an wa totomu an wa ba na ohim nkura bata no ya wo ho ya gba adwuma be pe ba bi tra dwodwo hu de didi kama ebu akwa kofu odua Gulf station ho ya gbo pa 0246 518 003
Juma bia pai life opa juma ya kama pa juma bia ya juma ko won aiki duka aiki ne na juma bia ya juma no onam na wabo degree kakra ana so ni certificate kra okuta diploma SHS certificate masters a Millennium Group of Companies se bra no bajo oju bia wa opa juma ye bia enti de tie no person secretary administrator marketer operations manager efie jo person opepa bompa boamu inspection officer bia opesa o store mu adwuma o se bra obepa adwuma no ama allowances no ye kama pa na adwuma bi o kura no wonim style ye no o se job training adwuma no do ko ho no akire kwan fa so ye adwuma no kama ba bia obeda na afa adwuma mu ofutuo career advice o de bema o part time any full time adwuma o ho na wo school na pesa o ye attachment nso a obema obi ama ye kama or labor runabout on the total fuel station no and a shanimu. Yemfra 0278 303 022 0278 303 022 0594 975 0594 975 na fame GP1 Herbal Mixture ayire hete pa what obi asiye edro ni ye pop na GP1 lending pa said akodi ni mo sha akwaji ni din wo ho nya asem ketwa coronavirus gina mu no mo ho aduro yi miss lie fella no mo jeje show mo ho mo yusuo menka say to corona as na emom no immune system booster mo ho den ama ho ye odin ten afa wo mo ho ayi ni se twirentwe coronavirus no empusu wo mo kura empusu kremo enti nunum bi na mo wa hotutu obos prostate ho ban ehoro mo janum emo ho den ena afa boa wan kasa free honam tutuo eho frɛ wo 0243 146172 0243 146172 and I say 0249113750 and 0277521622.
Bosha Bankania in your Bomadi Nebra Beji Chandelier, Swall Light, Gate Light, Garden Light, CCTV cables in the cameras, no Papa Hanum, Kanyane one some dear. One kind of Bosha Banchain, now to Fabe Bia Noa. One up, and Yanum de Seshabuasi. Vepo Chira Quanta Fomusi, any Udome. Tibo Modena Brabajin, my Papa Shabanchain. Yamania, my Papa Bofoso, near Mebeche, Umpe Napadi, Bradum Peas at Mamma Taco for Denum. Sambra will tell a num Shabasha Basa Honum, Bosha Bada, Brandon Sujina, Wesley Mates, as well as Sian in your figure, yes, Central Prison roundabout in Neswa. Or Modena Bra, I phrase 541 125339 0541 125339 Boshaba Electricals in Kaniapa Nifia Mramaji Niama or the Pama Mimi Obakurumuni Mr. Adman Kanya no Adomadaso Papa born so F Munibina Enquye where the adventure are this radia Yenuya baby was in Dini Irene Sapon na wofa tawi ne ya ne kumase pampaso adum pampaso na wode ko KM free KM no to aso de ko Ratri Park na wo si fom no waja ne nkrata wo tawi num ainti adaroma tawi droba no so tie nka osrewa wosefre no 0551 1250 16 0551 1250 16 and 0555 8991 37 0555 8991 37 na adauroma Oman and Saka, the document Ujano or taxi ni mua or bedua se papa and also subit media beja or repair from Hanswa or bedua se papa Tahino or say na or codano office no aquasa dear any hua nasi yamyeni yellow and blue no assembly ekain taxi no color yellow and blue nti bomodin na dauroma wahu ni document no o kan mu wa hu se see or Johnny document you okay more that room my friend and I fabro perfect.
Okay, and ya na ye change over, ye move over. Na fe na Sante Swava abe take over. Di mu cross over. And penetrate say and or the air bad ye sorry a Domino's Vobiscum. A radia sum dwen kamo. Ora man olodro Korea any osemufo. Infantry News Battalion. I de kasie Ibrahim onwumre eye me. PSA Ladi, many anuanum.
Social distancing ambassador of Frimpon and Febema
Krobia Asante.
Na ma menchia yenua kwakujasi. Kwakujasi the legend. Ni ma me da form me mendai ye na ye. Ma me fia no chiwa da form. Kwaku shaden yako kafra pa. Me mendai ya
no ofa. Ene Apostle Samuel.
Kwakujasi. No ofa ni Apostle Samuel. Oh okay. Kwaku
Hey, Nanaya, Nadia come down for Frimpon demo, which you any kru.
Na me twa many kru saying, fire, light, woman, air ponion, every one of them.
Now pass one thank a cat saying, and
never be saying that was we and me Jew with this war bema.
Hey, Yamian Nanaya, Wobunia, you, baby, the Bama, what do you mean?
Say, ye pay and me be so down for neither no. Was said you couldn't been a tony in our fabric de Breno.
What? One got to break Sibia. Me and me didn't even call what's the ballet checkers. A hundred Tony Menina. I was for what's the ballet checkers. Say, can you be a web memo, but if you are Bagana? A chronic ceiling fire, can you woman, Nessa Bonum, or can you and the sort of bedroom, a bedded out, come. A fair garden lighter, and also flowers moon, or ceiling light, gate light beer, Swissy beer, or CCTV camera, who would you nabby? That the attention crown is set. So, if you're not person with your wires, papa, wires, you know, Mount Kanye, Gina, so come, down come, Bianco, Jabia, Mefia, Toletica wires, Nina, or Bossa Balachicas. Where we, I wholesale, retailing, so we handle the South Chocota, a view of